Hello, fourth graders. Welcome to lesson 5.7. Today we'll be subtracting some fractions. This is fabric. You can buy fabric at, Walmart, Target, Michael's, stores like that. And it is sold by the yard. Okay, they use yards to be able to measure it out, and then you buy a certain amount. You might ask for 2 2/6 yards, or 2 3/4 yards, or whatever it is that you need. So here is our question. Harper bought 7/8 of a yard of fabric to make a pillowcase. She only used 5/8 of a yard. How much fabric does Harper have left? Justify your thinking and be ready to share your strategies. All right. So first, let's figure out how much fabric does she have left, and why do you think that? All right, let's talk about this math message. We could think about eighths, right? We could think that, all right, if she had 5/8, one, two, well, that black doesn't really show up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should say she had 7. And then she used 5 of them, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How much does she have left? 2/8. There it is, right? We could use a fraction number line. Where's 7/8? There it is. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2/8. Okay, those are some visual models that we could do. Now, what we could also do, you can see there, is to subtract in the same way that we do when we are adding. Okay, this is the shortcut, right? The visuals are good to be able to see, to understand why. Okay, but the rule here is that we never, ever, 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 never, never subtract the denominators. Okay, so 7 minus 5 equals 2, and we keep the 8 the same. 2/8. 2/8 could reduce to 1/4, by the way. If you said 1/4 earlier, you would also be right. But most people probably said 2/8, and that is correct. Today, we are going to learn how to subtract fractions with common denominators. Then we are going to apply our learning to solve some number stories that involve subtracting fractions. And there's subtracting fractions in our objective and in our standard. It's all over the place, isn't it? All right, let's do some subtracting of fractions. If we have 3/4 minus 2/4, we would keep the denominator the same, and we would have 1/4. If we had 6/7 plus 2/7, we would use the same rule and get 4/7. If we had 8/9 minus 3/9, we would end up with 5. 8 minus 3 is 5/9. All right, simple enough. Let's have you do some. Oh, those are big. Let's see. What are these? Oh, I should have had you do some of these over here. Let's see. If we had 72 minus 49, hey, we're going to need to make sure that we borrow on this problem, aren't we? We're not going to do that very successfully in our head, although counting up strategy would probably be a pretty good one here. Here we would have 12. So 12 minus 9 equals 3. And 6 minus 4 equals 2. So this would be 23/100ths. All right, I'm going to let you do one here now, since I've been doing a lot of these. Number 5. Solve number 5, please. All right, what'd you get? You should have, if you did 65, let's just draw it right on here, minus 25. And then if you borrowed correctly, borrow 15 minus 8 is 7. If you have a 3 in the ones place, that probably means you tried to do 8 minus 5, but this doesn't say 8 minus 5. This says 5 minus 8, which you cannot do. 37/100. And I'm running out of room on this very crowded page. If we look at, oh boy, look at these with one whole. Well, think about that. One whole. One whole is I'm dealing with eighths here. So 1 whole is 8/8, right? 8/8. So 8/8 minus 3/8 equals 5/8. Okay, let's let you try one here. It's 1 whole minus 1/4. What do you think? You should have said 3/4. 1 whole is worth 4/4. 4/4 minus 1/4 equals 3/4. All right, that was a very crowded page. Let's get on to some of these. This looks like a little review here. This would be 1/4 because 3 minus 2 is 1. What is this right here? You should have said 4/7, and I think we probably have this down. Okay. All right. So when we use this in a story problem, now I know that today is called subtracting fractions, and so you know they're all going to be subtracting fractions, but I want you to think about why, right? These are going to be problems that ask us to find the difference between two things. Jimena lives 7/10 of a mile away from the pool. Vaughn lives 3/10 of a mile away. How much farther? Right? You're going to see words like this in subtraction problems. How many more? How much farther? How much taller? How much shorter? Right? Because they're asking you to compare the two things and tell how far away they are, like the difference between those two. That's how you know not to add that, right? Let's say you added these and you got 10/10. And then you tried to put that in a sentence. Jimena lives 10/10 miles farther away from the pool, but that's not even possible because nope, they don't even live that much. Neither one of them lives that far away. So this is a subtraction problem. We get 4/10 here. Okay. On this one. All right. I want you to tell me, not the answer here. I want you to tell me what the key words are in this problem. Look down in the question. What are the key words in the question? It's these words here, right here. Well, I wouldn't count Amir in there. Too many. How much does he still need, right? What's the difference? He's read this much. He needs to read the whole thing, right? So 12/12 is the whole thing minus 4/12. And what would this answer be? You're right. If you had 8/12, if you said 2/3, because that's equivalent to 8/12, that's correct as well. All right. One last one, right? How much more? There it is again. All of these words where you have to compare two things, right? You're trying to figure out how far away they are all subtraction because you're trying to find the difference. All right, your math journal page here is page 169. You have some fraction number stories here at the top that you're going to answer, and then some problems here that are just the straight computation. This is subtracting fractions, fourth graders. If you need any help with subtracting fractions or trying to figure out which words, I bet you can find them in here, which words tell you that these are subtraction, let me know, and good luck.